At OS and VTXReviews.com, today we're giving you our video review of the Sharp YO-P5B or P5A, depending on which color you select on the stores. This is actually a very basic PDA organizer system that Sharp is rolling out, that has rolling out. You can actually pick these devices up at Office Depot and at Office Max, any Office store, in addition to a lot of online retailers like Amazon.com. Now, what makes the YO-P5B really unique is definitely its price point. Sharp is only offering these devices at around $20, which is one of the most inexpensive PDA-like products that we have ever seen in any manufacturer come out of any store or location. But be warned, what's underneath the hood is a little bit more disappointing than what you might even expect from looking at the price point and the device in general. So the box itself doesn't look too bad. It has a few features. One of them is that it says it has a 48 KB memory, so it's not a lot of memory, but it can store a lot of phone numbers, address books. You can also write in memo pads using a virtual keyboard, so you can type in some stuff, and you can save up some, quick little notes that you want to do on the road. You also have a few games in here. 2 games are not that great. In addition, you have the biggest feature on this product is probably going to be the Spanish to English word translator, because dedicated translators on themselves are actually pretty expensive these days, so this is a pretty interesting feature that I'm pretty excited about. Unfortunately, you only have around 2,500 words inside, so it's not that huge of a huge word bank, but we'll test it as we'll show you in our review later on. It also has a 3-line touchscreen display with a stylus built in. And that's pretty much all. You have the world clock of conversion between inches and metric systems and English systems and stuff like that. You have one lithium battery included, but this is not a rechargeable product, as you probably have guessed. And there's also, of course, there's a translator, and the games are just Blackjack and Alpha Attack, which are pretty bad, to be quite honest. And that's pretty much everything that you need to know about the product. This comes again in this nice white look, or it also comes in the black and traditional blue look that you might see more commonly, or the YO-P5A series. Now, from the outside, this product actually looks like a love child or a baby model of the Palm Zire 21 series, and it's also maybe something like the Casio Cassiopeia series. So it's a love child between those two products in terms of design and in terms of having this plastic build that's really lightweight and super portable. However, it's miniaturized and it's shrunken down, so when you put it in your hand, the screen is positively tiny. And that's also crippled in with the fact that it has a very small virtual keyboard that makes this device really hard to use. So in the features department, while it seems really actually pretty interesting and pretty worthwhile for only $20, in actual performance it's actually pretty disappointing. So turning it on, this is a large button. There's a beeping sound, so you have an alarm. Now the first thing you'll notice upon turning on this device is how disappointing the screen really is. It's a monochrome display, and that's not too bad in itself, but the viewing angles on this device are absolutely horrendous. When you place it out of viewing angle, you cannot even read the display, and oftentimes in direct sunlight, the device gets washed out completely. Unless you're holding the device directly up to your eyes, you're not going to be able to see this product. Now, once turning it on, you will, however, be greeted to the home alarm clock screen, where it shows your city, your time, your date, and your PM or AM 24 or 12-hour format, depending on what you want to do with that. Another thing you'll notice immediately is how small these words and letters look. This actually says menu. This says 12 to 24. They look positively tiny, and it's really hard to read, especially with this poor display. And in addition, it's just super small and hard to press. And also, luckily, the touchscreen isn't that bad. It actually registers touch pretty well, but it's just so hard to read, and it's just so crippled by this tiny screen, it becomes a very bad user experience. Now, what you get in menu is the ability to actually set language. You get French, you get Spanish, and English, and all the in addition, you can also go through a date selection and the memory check to see how much memory you have left. In addition, you also have a key tone to turn on this beeping sound on and off, and that's pretty much all. Let's go back to the Enter key. Other features include a calculator, which Sharp is pretty much known for. It's a very simple calculator, as you might expect. You press stuff, and you will be greeted with responses. Now again, the buttons are positively tiny, so it's going to be pretty hard to press unless you're using the stylus, which is unfortunate. In addition to the calculator, we also pressing this a few times also brings us, pressing the calculator key more than one time brings us to converter from euros to USD, and we can press the money and it'll automatically do that, which is actually a pretty nice feature. We also have inch to centimeter, again, for that metric conversion, and that's pretty much all. Now the telephone book brings up our name. You can store information and you can search it through the database. It's pretty much what you expect. You can bring in a name, an address, and a phone number. But pressing it again allows you to go to your schedule. Pressing it again gets you to your memo. Now while we're in the memo, let's take a look at the QWERTY keyboard. The keyboard is tiny. Again, with everything on this product, it's super small. So if we press something like review, it's going to be easy to see as a very uncomfortable experience. Oh, I didn't press E. And if we wanted to go back and erase something, there's no erase key, so we have to go back like this, and then press E, and then press W. So it becomes a very tedious experience to edit and go through your memo. The other thing you'll notice is that it's all in caps. In order to turn off caps, it's not going to automatically do that for you. So you have to press the button. I can't even read this. You have to press caps right here to turn it off, and then now it's going to be in lowercase. So again, it's very uncomfortable, very tedious, and not a very enjoyable experience at all. The G button is dedicated to your games, again, Blackjack and Alpha Attack. You won't be playing these for long, though, because they're pretty much just lines of number and just manipulating them through the D-pad. So it's very uncomfortable. It's not like even Tetris. It's not going to bring much entertainment. However, it does work if you read an instruction manual, which comes included. I think you will be able to play around with it for a few minutes. And now the biggest feature of this device, of course, is the English and Spanish translator, because it's a very cool feature. Now, again, it comes very hard to use with a small keyboard, but if we can try some things, like if we do house, let's try that. And let's press enter. It's translating to Spanish, and it says casa, so it works very well. However, it does significantly miss out on a lot of things. Pressing again, of course, translates it back and forth. For example, if we do something like hello and like hola, and it's not going to actually find that for us, which is very weird. Like, let's do hello, not found, and it's actually going to try some other things like help. So it automatically brings up some more common words that are related to your search, but it doesn't even have hello or hola, which shows the extent of how much it's really missing and not super functional at all. On the bright side, there's also other holes. For example, if we search again for something like movie theater, like theater, it's not found again. And if you do, yeah, it's not going to find that again. However, it's just something with a synonym usage. So if we go from Spanish to English and we do cine, it's actually going to translate that to English, and it's going to say cinema. So you can't actually search like theater or movie theater and expect it to find it. It's very limited in terms of it doesn't automatically recognize that movie theater is the same thing as the cinema and actually search that for cine or a la cine. So it's going to be a little bit harder to use. It's not as functional. So the best feature of the translators has to be translating things from Spanish to English rather than vice versa from English to Spanish, because it's a lot more hold if you translate it from English to Spanish. It's going to be a little bit more easier to use if you use it vice versa. There's also a second key that actually allows you to switch the keyboard and access your last functioning control set. Now in the box, it actually says that this device it only works with Windows. It doesn't works with Macintosh, which is very ridiculous, and quite frankly, it's BS, because this device does not even have any port to connect to any type of computer system. So why it even labels that as connectable to a system like that or compatible with a system like that is just very, very odd. Now you do have the stylus, and like I said, the stylus is actually pretty nice. It's a full-length stylus, which is pretty good and comfortable to use at the very least. And again, the design is very lightweight. It's really portable, and it looks quite well on the outside. Unfortunately, it just doesn't function very well, and it's all down to the fact that the screen is so small and so hard to use, and the fact that the LCD has terrible viewing angles. Other than that, though, the features, they do work as advertised. It's not as exciting as what the packaging might claim, like games. It's not really cool games or anything like that. In addition, this is a cell battery on the back, so when it runs out of power, you're kind of out of luck unless you want to replace that, which is going to be a little bit harder to do. But overall, though, if you just need one of those super basic organizers, it even comes with this protective little flask here. The Sharp YO-PB5 or YO-PBA series might do the trick for you, but be warned, the screen is super tiny, super small, hard to use for more than one reason. So if you can just dish out a little bit more, I think you'll be more satisfied on a Palm product or something with the same caliber. Please check out our full review of this product on our website, and thanks for watching here at OS and VTX.